This end table is the perfect narrow table. This is by Little Tree by Tribesigns, and I'm going to show you exactly how easy it is to put it together, even for someone who's not handy at all like me, which it took me about 30 minutes. Now, granted, if my husband did it, he probably would have gotten it done in 10, but if you're not handy, don't worry, I'll show you exactly what to do. Once you've laid all the pieces out, it really helps if you group the different hardware by the size. So the first part you're going to use are the 4 pieces of screws that kind of have this little end cap as you see here. You're going to put 2 of these on the bottom of each steel frame, and you'll know it's the bottom because the bottoms have the holes in them and the tops do not. Once you've done that, we're going to connect it with the other pieces of the steel frame, and you're going to need these screws here. These are the M6s by 10 millimeter. With your 2 sides of the steel frame facing right side up, you're going to take these end parts and you're going to kind of flip them upside down so that the open end is facing upwards. And you'll know what I mean when you're actually putting this together. It'll make a little bit more sense. I then took the whole frame and flipped it upside down, and I did lose a part in the process, but it was really easy to go ahead and attach that back together. This is where you're going to use those screws I just showed you, the M6 by 10 millimeter, and even though these are weird little names, it's just the way that they're written in the instructions. So each one of these screws, there's going to be 8 of them that goes on the top and then 8 that goes on the bottom. Now remember, this is also the underside of the steel frame, so keep that in mind, and you can see me screwing them on there. Now each wooden board has a number on a little circle underneath of it. So this is the number 3 board, and that is going to go on the bottom. Once you have fit it in place, you're going to take your next screw. These are the M4 by 10 millimeter, and they have the sharp edge. Now there's just a spot there. You kind of have to push these in and then use the screwdriver to actually screw them into the bottom of the board here. Then you'll take your number 4 board next. Now this is going to be easiest to fit through by going straight through the middle to be able to place it into position. You're then going to take your M6 by 30 millimeter screws and you're going to go ahead and put them in underneath the board. The easiest way I found to do this was to kind of get at least one in place from underneath like this and the other one kind of somewhat in place and then flip it over so I can kind of pinch it together and then continue putting the rest of them in. There's going to be 4 that go on the underside of this board. You're also provided with this little turnkey wrench, and that's going to help you to really screw it in tight, so definitely make sure that you do that to the bottom of these. Next, you'll grab your last board, the number 5 board. Now do the same thing. You're going to take the M6 by 30 millimeter screws, get it in there, and then go ahead and make sure that you tighten them. Again, this helps to really just get it in place, but then when you flip it over, you can go ahead and tighten it better with that turnkey wrench. Now in your hardware, you do have some threaded plastic inserts. They do not fit anything in this set and are not in the instructions, so just don't worry about them. Overall, I really love the table. It has just a wonderful steel frame. It has that rustic look with the wood. I love the tone of the wood as well, and it fits so much. And because it's so narrow, it really can fit in many places that maybe you don't have a lot of room, especially in our small little living room. So if you're looking for a great end table, I definitely recommend this one.